Jacob favored Joseph, the firstborn son, God gave his beloved Rachel. Because of favoritism, Jacob struggled to have peace in his family. There was not going to be peace, not right now. So let's just think about it. Do you treat everyone the same? No. Everybody do that? No, we don't. Now, there are a lot of people who are really good at treating people close to the same. Yeah? You can think of them. You have a name in your head right now for people who just treat everybody with kindness, right? Just they're kind to them, and they treat them nicely. They don't disregard people. You ever disregard anybody? Just kind of and keep moving. I do. Be honest. Are there people I like to be around more than others? Yeah, absolutely. I love being around you guys. I'm not sure about some of those people out there. I like it in here. I'm comfortable here. Bad for you sometimes, that I'm too comfortable in here. Man, this really interesting story that's here for us. So you got to be thinking about, what do we do with this? I think first of all, it wants us to deal with the favoritism piece. It really wants us, I know God wants us to deal with that. And we need to decide how we're going to treat people. People that we know really well and people that we don't know so well. How are you going to treat them? They don't have quite the connection that these guys do, but there's some kind of connection or God wouldn't put them in your path. So how are you going to treat them? Are you going to play favorites? Obvious. These are obvious favorites, right? There's obvious favoritism being played here for others to see that's causing this jealousy and strife within the family and division that's causing problems. So how is it we're going to treat people that we come into contact with? Great time to think of it this Christmas season. Not everybody like Melanie has finished their shopping. Mm-hmm. I would bet she's almost finished. See? But others of us haven't done hardly anything. I did do some. Tracy and I did some Friday. So how are you going to treat people that you come in contact with this Christmas season? You don't know them that well. Who are you going to show them? You're going to show them the love of God. You're going to show some kindness to somebody who just doesn't always receive kindness. There's a lot of that, right? You can see it in their faces. They just need some kind of touch from us, don't they? In the right way. You know? What do you get if you invited them to church? How would that be? You know, you have church on. Get into a conversation, engage with people. That's what I'm not really good at. Okay, it's good. It's easy for me. Guys, you ought to understand. I'm basically a shy person. Seriously, you can ask my wife and my mother. In a lot of situations, like where I don't know a lot of people, I won't just go and engage. Tracy's the engaging person in our family. It's obvious. I'm not. She pulls me into the circle, right? I'm with her. It's that kind of thing. But I've got to intentionally try to be more engaging. That's what the Bible tells me to do. So in this situation, that's just kind of where I went with the thought process on this. How do I show? Is it too easy for people to recognize favoritism when they're around me? Do they see, well, he plays favorites? Or, man, how's he able to make us all feel like that? You know, that everybody's welcome. That he, just show kindness to everybody. He's kind to everybody. He's just that guy, right? That's what I want it to be like. But in this situation, there's a lot of favorites being played, I'll tell you. We're not unlike our biblical ancestors. We're not. We're quite a bit like them. We have a penchant toward favoritism. We play favorites. We try to help God accomplish his plan the way they're doing it here. Favoritism can never be justified. God doesn't play favorites. Well, let's go ahead and move ahead here. So at some point, after Joseph shared his dreams with the family, his brothers went into the fields with their father's flocks. Jacob then sent Joseph to his other sons so he could report back on them. Okay, so he sent the little tattletale out. But when his brothers, so who set him up for failure? Dad. Come back and report to me. They're goofing off. I want to hear about it. So he set him up for failure here. But when his brothers saw Joseph in the distance, they recognized an opportunity to rid themselves of the one they hated so much. So somebody, we're all the way in 18. Somebody read 18 through 22 for me. Anybody?
But they saw him in the distance, and before he reached them, they plotted to kill him. Here comes that dreamer, they said to each other. Come on, let's kill him and throw him in one of those cisterns and say that a ferocious animal devoured him. Then we'll see what comes out of his dreams. When Reuben heard this, he tried to rescue him from their hands. Let's not take his life, he said. Don't shed any blood. Throw him into the cistern here in the desert, but don't lay a hand on him. Reuben said this to rescue him from them and take him back to his father. So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, the richly ornamented robe he was wearing, and they took him and threw him into the cistern. Now the cistern was empty, there was no water in it. As they lay down to eat their meal, they looked up and saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead. Their camels were loaded with spices, balm, and myrrh, and they were on their way to take them down to Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, "What will we gain if we kill our brother and cover up his blood? Come, let's sell him to the Ishmaelites and not lay our hands on him. After all, he's our brother, our own flesh and blood." His brothers agreed. So when the Midianite merchants came by, his brothers pulled Joseph up out of the cistern and sold him for 20 shekels of silver to the Ishmaelites, and they took him to Egypt.
Okay, you stop. Okay, so can you hear as you're reading here, can you hear the hatefulness in their voices? That's what you have to hear here when they call him that dreamer. Right? That's not a nice term. They're not saying, "Boy, he's a dreamer. Gotta love old Joseph." That's not it, man. They were thinking, yeah, all right, here comes that dreamer. Let's kill him. Let's throw him in a pit. And once again, the only way they feel like they can get relief and for things to be better is murder. We've already crossed that path, haven't we? Who only felt better about life when they thought about killing somebody? Esau. Esau thought, how can I make myself feel better? By putting my hands on his throat. See, is it interesting to you that these kind of stories are in the Bible? Why are they in there? Because we're all a bunch of goobers.
Sinners.
Pointing that out, isn't it? It's just truth. It's just straight truth, man. That's what we're getting from the Bible. It tells you the true story. It doesn't hide the warts. It shows them to us, reveals them pretty openly, doesn't it? So here he comes. He's walking up. Here comes that dreamer. Well, they're right. He's not coming there to do something good for them. Dad sent him there to rat them out, and they know that. They know why he's coming. He's coming to tattletale on them to Dad, right? So, okay, so you're one of them. What should you have been doing in the first place? The right thing. You're up there supposed to be working, but there's already strife and problems in the family already, so that's not what's going to happen, okay? So, come let us kill him. They're just blinded by jealousy here. Just blinded by it. They had shown this tendency toward violence before in 34, right? You guys read back in that? Where Simeon and Levi, they took vengeance on an entire city. Why? Because of the rape of their sister. Right? I don't care if you had anything to do with it or not. We're wiping this city out for what you did. So they had already shown pretty serious tendency towards some violence here. So this is not a big deal for them. This is just, listen, jealousy can be more harmful than anger. I think with jealousy, you start plotting. Cold, right? Man, yeah, it can get a hold of you pretty bad. But somebody starts to offer a compromise here. Somebody starts to think about this. tell him, let's not kill him. He's at least trying to spare his life. Reuben, right? Reuben starts to talk about, hey, let's.
He must have been the firstborn.
I think he's the oldest. Reuben's the oldest.
He's Leah's first.
He's the firstborn. So he's at least having some thoughts here of trying to back off from killing him. So he's starting to try to speak to these guys to calm them down a little bit. So he offers a compromise to save face as he veiled the truth of his plan. He advocated throwing Joseph in a pit so he could later come and rescue him. He was going to throw him in the pit, and then he was going to come back and pull him out of there so he didn't get killed. But consider what Reuben failed to say and do, and what should he have said and done. Should have stopped it right there. He's the oldest brother. Rebuke. Stop it. Yes, ma'am.
I think that that was he wanted to be the favorite. So if he brings back Joseph, then he becomes the favorite in Dad's eyes. So I think that was a selfish.
It's entirely possible. Entirely possible.
Well,
Yeah.
as a firstborn too, he was supposed to provide leadership for the family. He didn't want to he didn't want to go into it with blood on his hands, which is reasonable.
So when you're in this situation, it's maybe not necessarily your family, but you see somebody doing something wrong and playing favorites and wanting to do something terrible. What do? You stand back and keep your mouth shut? No. Listen, it's wrong. We're not going to throw him in a pit. And you're going to back off. And if you're going to throw him in the pit, you got to come through me to do it. Murder is wrong, sir.
He was a little outnumbered though. Two of them took out a whole city. Now
Okay.
you got
All right, let's take that the
Ain't
next.
no-
Let's take that the next step.
He's outnumbered, and he
You're
kind
outnumbered every day.
absolutely.
We are. So are we quiet? The Bible tells us to shut up because it's dangerous? No, it doesn't say that. It's got to be intimidating. It is. Aren't we intimidated when we're surrounded and outnumbered? Huh. Yeah, we are. But we're supposed to speak out against wrongdoings, aren't we?
But the other part of it, Greg, is he might have thought, well, you know what, this boy needs a little lesson. Let's throw him in the pit, and maybe it'll calm his jets a little bit. That's got kind of out of thought.
Doesn't say that. It's things that we have to think about.
and he
That's for sure.
probably was kind of afraid of his brothers. And he'd already kind of sacrificed his leadership role because of the incest, being caught with his sister, and so he was not favorite firstborn, even of his brothers.
I think the point that the Bible is making, and again, you heard the word think from me, right? Just what Greg thinks. Okay, I think what the Bible is saying to me is that we are to declare clearly and emphatically what's right and what's wrong, and it is our duty to do so. We are to be the voice in the wilderness. The Bible says it. You're to be the voice in the wilderness, and we are to speak the truth boldly, but in love. He should have said, we are not going to throw him in the pit. You're supposed to speak truth, even if you're outnumbered, even if we're the only one that says it, and even if you're mocked and rejected. Why? Because Christ did it. He was mocked and rejected, but it didn't keep him from speaking the truth. Right? So, it's hard to do. Really easy to say up here. Okay, I'm not telling you I do this all the time. It's easy to slip back into the shadows and just let things happen. Right? And then come in later and try to help clean up the mess. Instead of stepping in early, being bold, not caring the consequences, and stopping it from happening in the first place. Hard to do. Reuben should have, at the risk of his own life, defended his brother. No? I don't care how he felt. It doesn't matter how he felt. It doesn't matter if you're scared. You're supposed to have courage and speak the truth.